Good morning, everybody. We're reading Isaiah 31 to 34 this morning. We all love to highlight the moments when the Lord rushes in and rescues his people. And it's amazing the times that they call out for him. And, Jehoshaphat is one of those that was amazing, where he brought the people all together for that prayer meeting. That army that was coming to him was when they called out, and the Lord rushed into the room and rescued them. Hezekiah is another example of that. Laying out the letters before the Lord, and we're going to come to that. We're not there yet, but the Lord rushes in and rescues them. Just amazing stuff. We just love that. But there's like 100 times more examples of when his people didn't, when his children did not turn to him, when the nation did not turn to him, and they tried to find their own way, and they would pay off other kings to come and rescue them, and all kinds of things, and it always ended in disaster because the Lord was the rescuer, not anybody else. We can look at that and we can criticize it, but we should at least be able to understand it, because we do the same thing ourselves. Often we treat the Lord as the desperate last choice after we've tried everything else. When there's nothing else that can be done, we'll turn to him. At least we do that, right? At least in that desperation we will turn to him. But there are times that people don't turn to him. There are people right up to the very end, they're relying on world systems to try to rescue them. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, what's it going to take for us to understand that we've got to stop treating Yahweh like a philosophy. We have to stop treating our Father like some kind of philosophy that we live by. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts, when it comes to the rubber on the road, we still rely on the same system that everybody else in the world relies on. Dad's our rescuer. Dad's our provider. Dad's the one who takes care of us. Always. Always. And there's nothing wrong with doctors. In fact, we in our church, we tell people that they need to go see a doctor. Let the doctor name it. Let the doctor name it. And if there's medicine for it, fine. But when the doctor is baffled by it, even with the medicine, there's no guarantee. I've seen people take the medicine and still end up very sick. The medicine didn't work for them. Solutions that doctors come up with don't always work. That's nothing against doctors. They are doing their very best. They lay down their lives for people. They honestly, they work very hard and do everything that they can. But they're not our rescuer. As much as we love them, as much as we celebrate them, they're not the one who rescues us. Father is our rescuer. And from the very day one, even when we go to the doctor to have it named, from the very beginning, we rely on the Lord. The number of times that people in my family have come down with something, when the doctor says there's no hope, and we go to prayer, and bang, it's taken care of. And there's other times that we've done that. I lost my sister, even though I was desperately crying out to the Lord. I lost my sister to cancer. I'm not going to turn around and blame the Lord for that, because I know his heart. I know my Father's heart. I know what his will is, what his desire is. And we still live in a fallen world. There's still a lot of mystery, a lot of things that we don't understand. It is wrong for us to come up with doctrine that do not properly reflect our Father's heart, to try to explain away things that are a mystery and that we don't understand. Instead of going to Dad and saying, listen, this is what you say, and it didn't seem to work out this way. Can you teach me? Can you show me why? Can you help me? And yeah, it's a completely different relationship when we do that, instead of trying to come up with reasons or feeling embarrassed that we have to explain this to the world. We don't have to explain anything to the world. We don't. Our Father is our Father. And all that matters is at the end of the day, we are reliant upon Him. We trust Him. We know who He is. We know His love for us. And we lean into Him. He can't be the last resort. He walks through us through the whole process, and we got to stick with that. So I have a friend right now who's facing cancer, and we are praying adamantly, and there's a whole army of people praying for him, and the tumor's still there. But I know who my Father is, and I know what His will is, and I will continue to pray and believe according to His will, and we will see victory. So don't give up. That's what the enemy wants us to do. Trust. Dad loves us. He's a rescuer. He's a provider. He's the one we go to. God bless.